Happy New Year and welcome back. In our last episode, we gave you an early Christmas present. And that was what you could do when you really put your mind to it. The guy that is going to be showing you the finer details of that work is Grant. Grant, say hello to the boys and girls.
Hey, boys and girls.
Excellent, excellent. But before we get there, we're going to have to show you some basic stuff, okay? We're going to start with the basics, and that's what I'm here for. So here we go, some basic tools to work with. Now a lot of people are going to go out and they're going to go, look, I've got myself a panel beating kit. It's got some dollies. These things are dollies. These are the sorts of, if you ever hear people say, you know, panel beaters always play with dollies, it's these things. And they're just different shaped metal that we can get in behind different panels to work them out. Now that's not too bad. The dollies are not too bad. It's the hammers that are just crap. With these hammers, this is sort of like their equivalent. Now this is a lot lighter, it's easier on the hands. This here is a big chunky thing. That'll stretch the metal more than it'll help you, okay? It's supposed to be a cross-pane hammer and it's just not. Yeah, it's like a silly Solly's imitation, so I wouldn't go out and get that. I would spend the money. You're going to be spending a lot of money doing up a vehicle, so don't skimp on the money when it comes to some of the tools. It's not going to cost a lot. What do you reckon? A couple of $100 will get you everywhere, okay? And like Grant and I were talking before, you can get some of these things at swap meets. You know, you don't have to go out and buy the latest tools.
A lot of the best tools are the older ones anyway. You find that a lot of the good like old dollies and that, they're made out of better steel, that kind of thing as well. So a lot of this stuff is sort of the newer, cheaper stuff, but if you go out and find someone to swap meet, they're usually better quality anyway. If you can get the real old stuff.
These two here were from a swap meet. Okay. And yeah, it's got a couple of screws in there, but that works like a treat. Now some of the different shapes, you just get all different sorts of shapes because you don't know how you know what you need to get in behind a panel to try and bring it out. And that's with some of these, okay? This cross piece on the back is really good for getting into sharp areas. This one here is obviously good for rounding things off and stretching. That one there, getting in behind something. Okay, so if you've got to really get in tight in behind something, that's good for that. And of course your standard ball peen hammer is quite good for, well, you can throw it when things go bad. You've got these soft ones as well. Okay, now this one here's got a hard and a soft. Okay, this has just got tape on so it didn't affect the paint when we were doing some jobs earlier. So that's fair enough there. You'll need some levers. Now some of these levers are just to get in behind panels and sort of pry out, but other ones are for putting lines and putting body lines in. So they're all quite necessary. And one of the other things, there's a couple of different styles of these. We just call them slappers because they slap. This one's got a file type of what would you call that? File, crosshatch file, and all it is a file that's just been heated up and bent. Okay, but that's necessary. You can get ones that are just flat. You use one that's a flat one.
Quite often I send my things off there, just for working with aluminium and that kind of thing. It's not really necessary. You can probably shape a bit faster when they've got the file on there. It kind of tends to grab the metal and kind of sort of grip it and sort of pull it in when you're hammering it up. But it's kind of, I don't know, it might be a little bit faster, but it's not necessary.
Probably a little bit more aggressive, quicker. Yeah, I like that one. That's my favourite. So again, we've got two different styles here. And of course there's the sandbag.
So the sandbag basically is designed to shape into. So I don't know if you want to pass me a little bit of black steel there. So if you try and shape a piece of steel just by holding it by hand, it's not really going to work. And if you try and do it, you know, onto a piece of concrete or on a piece of steel, you're not going to be able to get a heap of shape out of it. But if you do it into a sandbag, it allows the metal to go into somewhere while holding the surrounding part sort of solid as well.
Excellent. That's good. That's good. And we'll go further with that as time goes on. But that just gives a bit of a basic gist of what we need. This here, let's not worry about one of them, okay? This stuff here. As much as my good mate Dougie reckons a panel beater's toolbox is just a few different shaped rocks and a hammer, they're quite Larry sort of rocks and quite Larry hammers, okay? So, oh yeah, and the Bricky's bolster, you get these from, Bricky's Bolsterers are us. So we've got a month before the next episode, so if you grab some, go out and get some zinc and eel or some black sheet steel, it doesn't really matter, but if you get a bit of each and have a play, then you'll be able to notice the difference, okay? Because as we know, there's only a few things you can do with steel.
Yeah, it's just shrinking, stretching, folding, cutting and welding. The folding's sort of stretching anyway, really.
Yeah.
But some people get a bit hesitant to start shaping because they think that there's too many things you can do, but really, if you learn how to do those 4 things, you sort of, and where to put them, then it's pretty much no drama.
Now the other thing is, before you start, you got to brace yourself, okay? And specifically the job. Now that panel band, I don't know if we showed you how we braced it, so we'll go and have a look at that now.
Before we could start to make the panels, we had to work out, what shape the panels were and where they went to and everything. And with all these panels here in the way, you can't quite, make the panel. So you kind of have to dig all the way into the base and then work your way back out. And the problem with that is when you have these panels on here, they supply a lot of strength through the front of the car. So that when you take them out of the way, if you didn't brace it, the car would just kind of fall in half.
That could be an issue.
Only if you want to drive it.
Okay. Yep.
So that's why we put the bracing here. Basically to stop, because if you think about it, when all this strength is out of here, there's a lot of weight sort of in between the wheels. Yep. So that's just going to want to go down. So we kind of need something to hold this together. There's a few different ways you can do it. You can brace it from the floor if you had it on a rack. If you put the car on a rack, or if you had it in the corner of the shop where you could sort of build a structure to keep it up. Do it that way, but because we need to move the car around, we kind of need it to be mobile.
You need it to exercise.
Yeah. So we made the bracing sort of go there. And it's still kind of out of our way. We can still get in here and get to these panels, and it still does the job.
Okay. And your bridge description for the triangle shape is
triangle, A-frame, that sort of stuff. It's less likely to collapse on itself. Yeah, we could probably put this here, but this is still. The integrity of this here is still good. I thought it was important to talk about the types of metal, because if you haven't done it before, you need to know, what are you going to ask for? If you haven't got any sheet steel or anything at home, what do you use? You've got some galvanized steel, but do you use that? And automatically people will think, it doesn't rust. That's what I need to put in my car. Yeah, you can. But you get that galvanizing off to weld it. That's what you do there. That's why we're talking about the black steel and the zinc and eel. Zinc and eel is the standard one that we use in a panel shop is zinc and eel. Okay, and it's got that slight frosted zinc coating on it. It will still rust in time though.
Still be welded through as well. Like, you don't have to grind it off. No. It'll weld better if you do grind it off, but you don't have to. You can TIG weld or MIG weld or whatever straight through it, and it won't have any problems. So if you're doing this from home, probably I'd go and buy some zinc, I think.
Zinc and eel.
Yeah, but if you're really going to get into the metal shaping and start making some really complex shapes, I'd probably go for the cold rolled black steel, I think.
Unless, of course, you're the sort of person that likes pop riveting plates over holes. Doesn't matter. You just use whatever you want to use. But I do not endorse that. So yeah, we've got 2 styles. of panel beating here. Now Grant has refined his skills in the shaping and forming side, to a particular degree where, if you really aspire yourself to become quite proficient at that skill, you're going to have to do quite a lot of practice. You're going to have to talk to a lot of people. You're going to have to be educated in it, and that's a field that Grant has taken off in and he's excelled in. But I think for a start, we need to be a little bit more relatable and a little bit more basic with what we do, and I should be able to show you that. So to get you from not being able to do anything to be able to do some panel beating and to get your car, some rust pieces fixed up and plated up. If you've got a passion for it, then we'll try and join or merge the skills so that you can see how you can progress and keep going with it.